Hello, my name is Kevin Bales. I'm an anti-slavery worker and academic. I'm now the head of an outfit called the Rights Lab, which is about 100 researchers all working on the contemporary forms of slavery around the world. Hugo's a fascinating character in this space because he's way ahead of his time in so many ways. I mean, there were abolitionists that like Victor Hugo, but he was out there in spaces where other people weren't. I think there are a lot of people who look back, and this isn't true of just Hugo, but of a lot of other important people of the past, and they say, oh, well, he wrote these wonderful novels, and they turned them into these kind of okay musicals and that kind of thing. But there was so much more. You know, he's totally against slavery. He's all about free education, but he's also about ending the death penalty, which is way ahead of his time. I think one of the greatest examples of Hugo's ideas of social justice was his response to the terrific events that occurred in the United States in 1860, which was particularly John Brown, a radical, almost crazy abolitionist who believed that it was time to take violence into the space of the abolition of slavery. And there was almost no one standing up for him anywhere except Victor Hugo. And he wrote widely, talked, spoke, pushed people along to see if they could do anything to get a pardon for John Brown, because he said he was absolutely trying to do the right thing if he did it in the wrong way. And I thought that was just a classic. I mean, it meant standing against the most powerful people in the United States and the most powerful people in most of Europe that would see John Brown as just a crazy person who was a danger and should be exterminated. But Hugo could see his humanity and could see what he sacrificed and was one of the handful that stood up for him. Well, I think one of the great things about having a center, as opposed to his house, is that you can expand and open up those parts of his mind and his life in ways that the house can't. I mean, the house is this phenomenal manifestation of the inside of his mind, but in a artistic way. What we need to do is be able to let people understand that this is a multifaceted man with futuristic ideas that could be really said to be revolutionary today. One of the wonderful things about Victor Hugo is, of course, that his ideas are not ephemeral. They're not some kind of flash in the pan that occurred in the past because of certain political or cultural fads. They were fundamental to the nature of what it means to be a human being, what it means to be living in a world where inequality is rife, but could possibly be changed to equality. I mean, Hugo's ideas about slavery, about the death penalty, about the availability of education, about freedom of the press, which, you know, we even see a real problem with that in Britain and the United States, the real problems with freedom of the press. No, he was a guy which, you know, you'd have to say, I wish he were alive today and could kick some butt, right? Like could get out there and push in the way that he could push with that phenomenal rhetoric and elegance of speech.